Hey y'all, welcome to this week's lesson on herbal medicine. Today we are going to be making an oat bark decoction. Now what a decoction simply is a tea made out of herbal roots or bark. Whereas we would take flowers and leaves of an herb and pour boiling water over them, cover them so the oils stay in, don't steam out to make an herbal tea. A decoction, we're going to take the root or bark of an herb and boil it for a little bit, simmer it really, for about 30 minutes. This is how you get the medicinal properties out of, woodier, harder herbs. It's really that simple. So the formula is basically a pint of water to an ounce of herb. Water comes to a boil, put your herb in there, turn it down, simmer it for about 30 minutes. The decoction after that point will be good for 3 to 4 days. You can go ahead and sip on it as soon as it's ready, pop it in the fridge, and you can sip on it for another couple of days before you have to make another batch. Unlike a tincture, it doesn't have a long shelf life. Tinctures can last years. Decoction's good 3 to 4 days. So why oak bark? Well, oak bark is an herb you should absolutely have in your herbal medicine cabinet, your herbal first aid. Oak bark is astringent, strongly antiseptic. It's also an expectorant. So it's good for coughs and colds. It's good for sore throats and congestion in your lungs. But what it's fantastic for is diarrhea. The astringent properties of the tannins in oak bark. I mean, oak bark, the galls of oak are where you get your tannins to tan leather. Just plain old oak bark is very astringent, and any oak will do. I mean, most of the medical, well, the herbal lore, I guess you would say, is on white oak or red oak but any oak will do. In fact, I think my water's boiling. I got this off of live oak today. I just went out in the yard, took my knife, and scraped off some oak bark into my hat and put it in a bag. Got about an ounce here, like I said, about a pint of water. Turn this down just a little bit and just dump it in. There we go. That's going to return to the boil. And I'm going to turn it down till I get just a low boil or a simmer. It really doesn't matter if it's a low boil or a simmer. And let it go for 30 minutes. There you go. That's your lesson for the day. That's how to make an oat bark decoction. It's that easy. And like I said, this is one to keep for your herbal first aid, your herbal medicine cabinet, because in case of like severe diarrhea, where if you don't get it stopped, you could really get super sick, dehydrated, maybe even have to go to the hospital. This is great. This astringent just dries it in. Now with this for diarrhea, I would add an antispasmodic. I would either use clove or probably my go-to, my first choice would be calamus root. I'm a huge fan of calamus root. Calamus root is antispasmodic and particularly good for calming intestinal cramps. So, and it's a root, so we do the same thing. I'm boiling my oak bark, which I can turn down a little bit more, and I'd throw in maybe a tablespoon of calamus root with this. This is the go-to for severe diarrhea. Like I said, it's also strongly antiseptic. You can use this as a wash. Cool it first. I mean, you want it warm when you put it on. You want it hot as you can stand it, but you don't want to scald yourself. For a wound or a cut, an abrasion, this is really good. It will shrink that tissue, help the bleeding, help the wound kind of come together, but it also is an antiseptic. It'll also kill off the germs and bacteria in there. So remember, oak bark, simple. Decoction, simple. See you next week.